And we're here. It's the Sunspot on Classic Country Kicks 101.5. Good morning, Cindy Fisher.
Good morning, Todd.
How you doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm up. Uh, it's always fun. Wednesday mornings are always fun because Tuesday is when we send the newspaper to the press, to the
Right.
press, yeah, for it to be printed. And so sometimes it can be a really late night. Sometimes it's an easy night. So it just depends on how but I'm a morning person. So I do get up most mornings and I'm good to go. But 3 o'clock, man, I'm looking for a pillow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I can feel you on that one. I know what you're talking about. Well, we got a lot to talk about. We got some good guests lined up for today, too. So, how about real quick, for those of you who have just tuned in for the first time, Cindy, why don't you tell them who you are and what you do?
Right. So I am publisher and owner of the Selma Sun, and we are a weekly newspaper that comes out on Thursdays. And we cover Selma, Dallas County, and we are shining the light on the community. And that means we get out there. We like to get a lot of the community events, which we've had fewer of, but
Right.
all the good things that are happening in our county to kind of to bring to light a lot of the good things that are happening in town, and we love business coverage. So
Right.
you can find us. Actually, we have 7 news racks around town, and there's a list of them on our website of where you can find them. We actually have 10 new ones that we just got,
Yeah, I
news
heard.
racks. And so once we get those all gussied up, we're going to put them out and we'll have 10 more. So we'll have
Wow.
17.
That'd be
So
good.
lots of trying to make access. Now at selmasun.com, we are putting stories up all day. And right now during the COVID and the quarantine time, we have the e-editions up for free. So we have the tax delinquent fees for the last 3 weeks.
Mhm.
This is our last week, so you can see the list. Yes, it is teeny tiny print. That's what we hear the most. And I'm not sure if there's a way when if you could download, I don't know, to make it look a little bit bigger, but it is available for free because we believe that anyone should be able to see the list of what is
Sure.
delinquent on taxes, not just the subscribers.
Right. That's good. And of course, y'all know who I am. I've been here, and I have the pleasure and the honor of writing for the Selma Sun as well, which I love doing. So this is going to
Yes.
be some good stuff. And we've been focusing on COVID during this show, but things are starting to. We're on kind of a slow but steady ramp down. I believe we've kind of passed our peak. I don't think we're on any free fall. It's going to be a slow recovery. And
I'm not sure if we've passed our peak. No one's really said, and it's kind of hard to tell because the beaches were packed.
mm-hmm,
Montgomery has seen, they're only 300 cases away from Jefferson County.
right.
So their mayor is out there saying, and I saw him on every national news network last night, saying we're at capacity, the ICU is packed. We're going to hear from David McCormick today with Vaughn Regional Medical Center. And I'm hoping he can shed some light on that. I don't know if that's because we reopened, but there seems to be a lot of different camps
Yeah,
of of
right.
the don't wear a mask, don't worry about it camp. Which I've been to Walmart one time since all this reopened, right, once, and I wore my mask, which actually I can't find my normal mask, so I have my son's, which is camouflage. So I mean, I feel like I'm as a city girl, I feel like I'm running into the woods or something.
Yeah,
But
you walk in there, nobody can see anything but a body walking around. Your face is all camoed.
I know camo exactly. It's like I'm in the woods. But I find that there were a lot of people wearing masks, and no one judged me for wearing one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go as we reopen.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, and you're right. There seems to be, one way or the other. There's a little bit maybe, but not a lot of in between. And
Well, it doesn't mean anything. Here's the thing. All it means is I want to protect myself and
yeah,
you.
there you go.
Me.
Exactly.
I do. If you're not wearing one, then you're cool with catching it. But I'm not judging you
Yeah.
for not wearing one. So we shouldn't be judging people for wearing one or
Yeah.
not. It's all about how safe you personally feel.
Right.
It's not. I'm not sending you a message that I don't. I think you're a carrier. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like everyone kind of is going a little far on how we are interpreting without talking. It's like texting. How you never know what somebody really means.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
like, hey, that was kind of mean. No, it wasn't meant to be. Right. So it's like I'm not sending any kind of subliminal message to you by wearing this camouflage mask.
That's funny. I love that. Well, let's get David on the line.
Yeah, let's see what he has to say about the cases, and maybe even about Montgomery. I don't know. Montgomery, we have a lot of people in Selma that travel to Montgomery, so
Oh yeah.
that could be a concern for us if it is growing on that end.
Uh-oh.
Last time we talked to him, he did not have any cases.
Yeah.
So this will be curious to see what he says this time. It was a good sign when we talked to him last time, and no healthcare professionals had caught it from anyone when we talked to him last time. So that was a really good sign that Dallas County is doing something right.
There we go. This is live radio, so.
This is. I know it's fun stuff.
Yeah.
We like live radio. We're on our 6th or 7th week, aren't we?
I think so. Is that David?
Good morning. This is David.
Hey, David McCormick. It's Todd Prater and Cindy Fisher. How you doing this morning, man?
I'm well. How are y'all doing?
Doing quite well, and thanks again for joining us today and being part of the show. It's always good stuff when we can get you to talk to us and give us updates on what's going on over at the Bond. So, basically, what is going on over at the Bond? What's the latest? what we got going on?
Well, I tell you, our staff is all still doing great, and we're just so blessed to have that. They're really working hard and committed to what they're doing. We have had a little bump in the cases, a couple of nursing homes, and that's what we've really seen over our whole time. Mainly, it's nursing homes.
Uh-huh.
It's nursing homes that are somehow getting hit. So we've had nursing home a little north of us, and so that's what we're facing right now. We do have 10 people in.
So is this because they're more susceptible, because the testing is better, all the above, or?
Well, no, it's not the testing. I think they're a lot more susceptible, and then once it gets in, it just seems to move pretty quickly.
Right.
And unfortunately, the staff get it, and then when the staff get it, they go into work not knowing that they have it,
Right.
And that's what seemed to have happened in probably 3 different nursing homes.
Wow. And that seems to be true for a lot of areas, not just Dallas County.
No, yeah, that's how it really was, up in Washington State.
Right.
Where it first came, that's where it was, all up in that. And that's, in New York also, the nursing home. So that's really, that's where it's been really hit hard.
Now, as far as an explosion of cases, have you seen a huge rise, or since the state's been opened back up, or is it a steady up? Or is it...
It's still rising, but it certainly has not exploded or gone. The graph seems to be a pretty consistent graph where it's staying at the same rate of increase. So we've really not seen any kind of explosion. And I think this weekend, this past weekend with Memorial Day, everywhere I went, people were out enjoying themselves like they should. And we'll see in the next several weeks if that, if we don't see any kind of explosion, then I think that's going to be a real good sign.
Yeah, that's very true. Cindy, do you have anything for him, by the way? I don't want to take over. I wanted to ask about Montgomery.
I wanted to ask about Montgomery. Do you know if they're, I mean, I know they're, they're growing. They're growing. They're staying at the same rate of increase. So we've really not seen any kind of explosion. In fact, I think this weekend, we had a little bit of a bump in the cases. you have any take on why Montgomery has gotten so many more cases? I mean, it's national, this mayor talking about those explosion in cases. Do you know anything about that?
I think it's just it's following the kind of the protocols the CDC has set up. If you wear your mask, you stay socially distant. And I think in Montgomery, it's a larger concentration of people, obviously, and I think that kind of caught them. They really weren't experiencing much the way that Birmingham and Mobile. But I think once the governor lifted that up, maybe more people went out and did some things. I mean, I'm just using some logic there. I don't have any facts.
Wow. The thing that concerns me is are we seeing an explosion because people are being less careful, or is it getting worse, or is the testing more available now? And that's because for a while we were saying, well, we're seeing more cases because there's more testing. Now has that been an effect at all still?
Yes, I think that's correct. I think we're doing a lot more testing now, and we're seeing more people that maybe have been exposed to it, but fortunately are not experiencing the real negative consequences. Right. So, but again, this weekend, I think
it's going to be
we'll know within the next couple of weeks, we're going to know really the real effect of this.
We know the last time we talked to you, you had made mention of how many people may test positive for it, but not really showing many symptoms. Is that still like a lot of the number that we're seeing are people who have it, but they're just not sick enough to be in the hospital or just go home and get better, kind of a thing?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes. It's still the vast majority of the people are not experiencing anything, maybe a little cold-like symptoms, but certainly not having to go to the hospital. And it's still, by far, that's the largest number of people.
And we're having.
What about? I got a question about the death rate. We've stayed at 3 for weeks. Is there something we're doing right on that, or why? Do you think we're figuring out how to treat it so that we aren't seeing as many deaths?
That could be it. The folks that are probably more seriously ill, they're getting treatment maybe a little quicker. We are fortunate that our rate is lower. And it's really kind of unique because we have a lot of chronically ill people that they're sick all the time with various illnesses, diabetes and other things, comorbid conditions. So we are fortunate that, and I think people, I guess, if they're feeling that way, they're getting in, they're getting treatment. The majority of the people that we've had in the hospital with COVID have not had to go to the ICU and be intubated. So we're very fortunate there too.
Would be with the testing being more available now, do you think maybe also we're catching them earlier so that they're not? I mean, the virus doesn't have a chance to really do as much damage. Catch it earlier, treat it earlier, and then they can get over it more easily.
I think you're right, Todd. I think that's certainly a very strong possibility.
I tell you, it's so many variables. I don't think any one thing. You can't just say, well, here's what it is. There's so many different variables with this, and with any kind of a disease, really, because every human being is a little bit different.
You're right, and this is such a new disease. They're
right.
Experimenting left and right, and they try this, they try that. The first drug worked on some people, didn't work on everyone. Now they've got the new drug that's working on more people. So I think a lot of it is experimental. So we kind of learning as we go.
That sounds. I mean, that's really all you can do. I mean, that's how we do it, and that's one of the beauties of it. We'll just keep working at it until we actually kick it. I don't want to change the subject too much, but I do want to change the subject a little bit. Got an opportunity to speak with some of the folks in the new Selma Cancer Center, and how's that going? It looks like that's going to be a huge boon for this area.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. They're coming in. They're providing medical oncology, which is people call chemotherapy.
Right.
We've not had that in 12 years in Selma.
That's amazing. Yeah.
That is huge. They're investing probably $3 million at least into the equipment, to do the radiation therapy. They've got a urologist that's here a couple of days a week, and he's already. I mean, his first day in clinic last week, he already identified 2 people that needed surgery, so he's doing the surgery tomorrow. But these are services that unfortunately we've not had for a while. And this group has come in and they've identified our area as an area of need. And they're like most of the people that come here, the physicians at least, they're on a mission. They're here to help this community. And this group is the same way. So we're extremely excited about them.
I tell you, I've enjoyed talking to the doctors. I've got to talk to 2 of them, and they do seem like they're really anxious to get down here and help the folks. And it's going to be great that nobody has to drive out of town now. I mean, that's going to save so much.
Oh, for cancer treatment, it's difficult, and having to drive and go through that and then drive back. Yeah. And I tell you, I think there are people here that just weren't able to drive, so they've probably not been receiving the treatment. So this is going to be a boom for everybody. Yeah,
that's fantastic. Cindy, you got anything else for Mr. David?
No, I think I'm so happy for the staff has been healthy, right? That's one thing we talked about last time.
Yes, they are, and I tell you, they're just doing such a fantastic job. They're here every day. They've kind of gotten in that rhythm there, and they know what they're doing, and they're doing it, and not complaining. It's just it's so impressive to see. Medical professionals, all of them, from our housekeepers, dietary staff, all the way up, lab staff. Everybody is just doing such a great job. It's really neat to see. It makes me proud of them.
Yeah, and rightfully so. That is amazing. Well, Mr. David, I do want to thank you so much for joining us again. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. You've always got good information, and it's always good to know what's going on at our hospital.
Well, we appreciate all that y'all are doing for the community and giving us this opportunity, and for all the support y'all give. Cindy, all that you do with your paper and stuff. I mean, it's you've been a great addition to the community, too. So thank y'all very much. Y'all have a blessed day.
You do the same, David, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
That's David McCormick, the CEO of the Vaughn Regional Medical Center. And I tell you, doing some great things over there, so good for them. I tell you what, let's take a little quick spot break right here, and we'll be right back after this, so hang tight. Testing 1, 2. All right, yeah, we're good. Okay, that's not exactly the right commercial there. Let's try. I'm trying to talk.
Live radio is so much fun, Todd.
It really, yeah. Oh, maybe this one right here. Let's try.
Oh, let's press another button.
Yeah, that button right there.
It's time to get groceries, but I don't want to be in a crowd.
Then go to shopdavesmarket.com.
But I want to pick out the items myself.
Everything Dave's has in the store is on the website at shopdavesmarket.com.
But how do I pay?
At shopdavesmarket.com, you pay online, and all you have to do is to drive up to the front door. They'll bring your groceries out to you. You never even have to get out of the car.
Okay, that's shopdavesmarket.com. Thanks.
Dave's Market on Highway 22 in Valley Grande and at shopdavesmarket.com.
With temperatures rising outside, your air conditioner will be running more frequently. The heat of the summer is not the time for your AC to go out. Call Harold's Refrigeration today to make sure it's running in tip-top shape. Harold's trusted technicians have been repairing, replacing, and supplying parts to air conditioning systems and home appliances since 1973. Harold's Refrigeration also offers a great selection of new GE appliances. So call Harold's Refrigeration today before your cooling system puts you in an uncomfortable situation. 872-8905. Alabama HVAC 83253. Alabama Refrigeration 50079.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson. Could your house go into foreclosure? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Foreclosure Protection Services can help save your home as they specialize in foreclosure assistance. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-607-7907. Their network of attorneys and their agents are available to speak to you now. Call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-607-7907. That's 800-607-7907. Superson.
With businesses opening back up after being closed due to the virus mess, Scott Communications has an offer you can't refuse.
I ain't gonna refuse, boss.
Guido, don't talk. This is part of the We're Better Together campaign. It's called a Local Business Protection Plan. Scott Communications wants to help out letting everyone know you open and ready for business, and there's a way you can do the Local Business Protection Plan without paying any protection there's a way for your business to advertise at no cost.
You gonna protect me for free, boss?
Sometimes I think your pasta ain't got no sauce. Businesses need to let everybody know they's open, and with the Local Business Protection Plan, you can use the power and influence of all 4 Scott Communications stations to get the word out. Call Scott Communications at 334-875-9360, and we'll send one of our protection associates. One of our representatives will explain all the details. That's an offer you can't refuse.
Do I get to protect someone?
Guido, your cannoli just ain't got no cream in it. And we're back. All right. How you doing this morning? I hope everything is going well for everybody. Cindy, that's always interesting information, talking with Mr. David McCormick. I always enjoy to hear what he has to say.
Yes, and I like how community-minded he is.
Yeah.
Because it takes a community. And I loved your question about the cancer center, because I have not heard anything lately about the idea that we now have a way where people with cancer do not have to drive an hour away to get, chemo or radiation, so that they can get home quickly and throw up at home instead of in the car.
Oh, that's terrible.
I know, that's how I always see the chemo thing. Let's make it as
well,
as better as possible.
Yeah, and I've had a number of friends who have experienced cancer, and you're right, the chemo makes them terribly sick. And to have to drive, an hour or 45 minutes or whatever after receiving chemo and feeling like that, last thing I'd want to do when I'm feeling like bad is to be in a car, and I love to ride, so I can understand that. But yeah, it's going to be a great thing for us, and we had some really good interviews with the doctors, and they are just really nice and seem to really be excited about being down here. And speaking of good things for our community, why don't we get Cheryl on the phone? Michelle Smedley, she has some good things happening too that she wants to talk about. And I just hit the wrong button.
Let's talk businesses, because that's when we have so much going on with our businesses reopening and the decisions they have to make. It'd be great to talk to her about how things are going within that. Most businesses on the 18th, so a week and a half ago, made the decisions to open or not open. So it'd be great to hear how things are going.
I think she's found some more grants and different things like that businesses and people who are in trouble can
apply for.
Can apply
That's
for.
Great.
So
we got a grant recently, and it is so helpful. To help you stay open and stay creative.
Michelle, you on the line?
Good morning.
Good morning. There's Cheryl Smedley, the director of our Selma, Dallas area Chamber of Commerce. And how you doing this morning?
I'm doing fantastic, Todd. I hope you and Cindy are as well.
I'm well, Cindy.
Oh, yeah. We're hanging in there.
Great.
Well, now, Cindy, didn't you have some questions for Michelle?
Well, I was looking to see how the reopening is going, since a lot of places were allowed to reopen on the 18th. We're a week and a half in. What are you hearing from the businesses?
Well, the business...
You're breaking up a little bit, Cheryl. Can you?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. The actual retail has been open with the first wave, and they're still operating. It's still a little slow. Our coffee shop opened yesterday. They had 53 customers from up until 2 o'clock yesterday, so they were very happy. The drive-up is open and curbside as well. Attractions I have not checked on yet. I noticed the Interpretive Center has reopened as of yesterday downtown, so I've got to continue checking on my attractions today.
And didn't you have some. I think yesterday we talked about a new grant that you had found that was available for some people.
Oh, yes, there's an art grant out there. Black Belt Benefit Community Foundation is offering 2 art grants.
Right.
And not only is it for Dallas County, but it's for the surrounding counties in the Black Belt. And it's for individual artists as well. And first one is a COVID-19 Artist Relief Fund. And the second one is called Black Belt Joy. And it's going to be offering an award up to $1,000 for the 12 county, for each, participant in the 12 counties. And it's a one-time grant award. And they're accepting them. They started on May the 15th, and they'll be received every Friday on a rolling basis. And to find out about this, you have to go out to their website, which is blackbeltcommunityfoundation.org.
Awesome. Great. Thank you. And you had some other good developments and news for me yesterday. What else do you have?
Well, and speaking of food, our Community Cares drive-through food giveaway continues for first Thursday was last week, so we've got 5 more weeks left on Thursday. So tomorrow, be sure and get in line at Selma High School from noon till 2. They'll be giving out fresh vegetables and fruit, and it's drive-through only. But if you need delivery because you're disabled, they have a service by calling them at 334-339-3599. And our farmers. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and isn't that for? Didn't you say it was like for people 65 and older?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then our farmers market update. It usually opens the first Saturday in June, but because of the cool spells that we've had, the farmers have met and they wanted to have a good showing, so that it's going to actually officially open the 3rd Saturday in June.
Oh, good.
However, starting this Saturday, there will be some farmers down at the farmers market around 6 o'clock a.m. normal opening time, because the market usually opens at 6 o'clock.
Right.
They're going to have some fresh peaches because they're coming in and a few vegetables. But it officially opens on June the 20th at 6 a.m., and they'll be there Tuesdays and Thursdays also after that opening.
Oh,
that's
great.
So it'll be Saturdays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays starting at officially on June the 20th.
Oh, that's good. Cindy, do you have anything?
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, amen to that.
I know that, because fresh vegetables is so important to have access to.
Yeah.
And I've only been into one store, Walmart, one time during all of this. So I don't know. Have you had any businesses that are saying you got to wear a mask? I know some, like hair salons, have those rules to follow. Is that, do they reach out to you a lot with what are my rules? I mean, is it confusing for businesses, or are they figuring it out?
They seem to be figuring out pretty well. We've got guidelines from the state Alabama Health Department that we've been providing. So they pretty much, I've not heard any complaints. Everybody's real cautious.
That's good to get them back open again, mainly. And, yeah, like you say, figure it out as they go along. I guess that's the best we can do.
Yeah, we're learning a lot from all of this, and I wonder if it will be something that can be helpful for if something like this were to come back, or this were to get worse. Like they keep saying, there could be another big wave. This is a great chance for small businesses to come up with kind of emergency plans for different scenarios that we wouldn't sit down and plan something. I say we because I'm a small business too.
Right.
We wouldn't sit down and plan something like this because we saw the movie Outbreak.
Right.
You got to go through it sometimes to say, yeah, that was hard. Here's how I would do it differently. I could see some workshops being very helpful in the future for small businesses with learning lessons where we can all kind of, here's what I learned and how I coped and still made money and stayed open or whatever. I could see that being very helpful in the future.
Absolutely.
Round tables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
Hopefully
very
we'll
good.
get back to those round tables soon.
And Cheryl, didn't you have one other? Oh, I know what we talked about yesterday. The census was another thing we talked about.
Right, because it's very critical. We've got $13 billion to the state of Alabama that's on the line. It takes 10 questions. It takes 6 minutes. And there's 3 ways you can fill out your census. You can go online, you can do it by mail, or you can simply give them a call to complete that census. And most of these programs that we have that's been helping us through this critical time have all been through the census.
Right.
Federal dollars that have come into our state through the census. And currently, here's some numbers. The response from Selma is 53%. The response from Oroville is 15%.
Wow.
And the response from Riley Grand is 65%. So we've got a long ways to go. And the census workers have been resumed back to work. So soon they'll be out door to door, and they'll be very cautious of their presence because they don't want to be exposed, and they don't want to expose you. But if you've got your census and you've not filled it out, please stop and take it takes 6 minutes.
Yep.
10 questions.
I know. I did it, and it was so easy.
Yeah, and I'm one of these. I don't want the government to know. And I have staunch. They don't need to know anything about me other than my address, and really that's all that's on there. There's just a few other questions, but nothing on the census this year or this particular cycle is very detailed. It doesn't dig into a lot of personal information. It's nothing that I can't get by going online or just asking, hey, what's your address and phone number?
That's right.
Yeah, so it's not invasive or intrusive in any way. And like Cheryl said, there are so many grants, loans, so much money available depending on the numbers. And just like, oh, God, what was her name? I got to talk to her again over in Atlanta. She said the numbers have to justify the assistance. And the way we get those numbers is through the census. So we got to do it.
We got to do it.
Yeah. Well,
and that's the hardest part is showing everyone why they need to do it.
Right.
So there's money attached to it. There's congressional representatives that are attached to it. And we want more voices for us, not fewer voices for us.
And we actually
we need to be heard.
Yeah, we stand to lose.
Yes, we could lose a seat in Congress.
Yeah.
And that would be one less voice. I mean, we're very blessed to have Terry Sewell, who is from here, as our voice. We don't want to lose another one. We don't want to lose her or any other opportunity. Mm-hmm.
And just like she said last time, and Cheryl, you can add to it and tell me what I'm missing. But things like Pell Grants, Housing Authority, roads, bridges, infrastructure, the lunch program at the school. I'm sorry.
Feeding programs. Both at the school and throughout the community.
Yeah, exactly. And those are just the ones I can think of off the top of my head that all depend on census numbers to get their funding. So if that's important, then, if it's important to you, then you need to fill out the census. So yes, ma'am. All right, Michelle, I appreciate you joining us again this morning. Is there anything else that you might want to add to it?
Just want everyone to have a fantastic day, be safe, and remember to shop local. Support.
Well, definitely shop local. Yes, ma'am. And thank you again so much for being a part of the show. You are always a welcome addition, and we enjoy talking to you.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Talk to you later. She is always a joy to speak with, and she's working so hard to do the good things and the right things for the Selma area. So we really need to, fill out the census and take advantage of the businesses and do those things that help keep our local economy flowing and get it back flowing like it needs to be. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, there you go. I can't wait till you're in the studio with me. It'll be so much easier.
I know it is going to be so much easier.
All right. 'Cause while I'm talking, once again, I'm trying to get the next commercial break ready. And, oh, look, I got the right one. So let's go to commercial break. We'll be right back.
Are you strapped for cash but need a car right now? No problem. Get an auto loan from ASE and make no payment for 90 days. Schedule an appointment or apply online. ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
So you need to fill up your vehicle, and you need to get something to eat, but you don't want to make 2 stops. Go to Vassar's on Dallas Avenue. Maybe you just need a snack and a cold drink. Vassar's on Dallas Avenue. It doesn't matter if you want breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Vassar's Deli is always serving up great home-cooked food, and the folks there serve you with a smile. And Vassar's has all grades of gasoline. The premium is ethanol-free. It's Vassar's on Dallas Avenue in Selma.
This is a national healthcare alert from the 24/7 Diabetic Health Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one has diabetes, listen closely. Now, regardless of your age, if you have insurance, you may qualify to receive diabetic testing supplies with little to no out-of-pocket cost. Get free delivery, free information, and all the paperwork is handled by our accredited suppliers for free. Call the 24/7 Diabetic Health Hotline now for details. Toll free at this number. But wait, there's more. If you call right now, you could get a meter upgrade. In addition, we'll give you a free pair of diabetic socks as our special gift to you. Regardless of your age, if you suffer with diabetes and have insurance, you may qualify to get free delivery of your supplies.
800-443-0645, 800-443-0645, 800-443-0645. That's 800-443-0645.
When you're shopping for a new car, truck, or SUV, getting a great rate shouldn't be a problem. ASE Credit Union makes auto loans easy with rates as low as 2.25% APR. Schedule an appointment or apply online. ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE. Equal Opportunity Lender.
And we're back. It is 7:38, and Sandy, we've got a lot more things going on. You know,
hello again.
Whoa, there we go. That's coming up in a minute. Oh.
Live radio.
Yeah, Bullet, wait your turn. But
I know.
I wanted to expand on what Cheryl was talking about, the food distribution for the people 65 and older at Selma High School, which is going on tomorrow. But also the Christian Outreach Alliance of Dallas County Food Pantry is going to be open tomorrow, 10 to noon. And that will be over at 700 J.L. Chestnut Jr. Boulevard. They're doing a drive-through now also where you come in on Marbury Street, and then they'll hand you the food, and then you drive back out onto J.L. Chestnut and then go on home if you want to. But the one thing they do stress is that a photo ID is required. So that's tomorrow. And I also want to remind everybody about the COVID testing. There is a drive-through coronavirus testing site every Monday and Friday, 10 to 3, weather permitting, at the Memorial Stadium parking lot. So that is Quest Diagnosis.
And that setup has been terrific. They've got so much space there. They're well using the space. It's never crowded too much. I've been really impressed with that one and the one at the health department.
Oh, yes,
that is in the back of, so there are opportunities. The one challenge is both of them still want you to have, symptoms. So
right, yeah. You don't just say, I think I'm going to go get tested. They do want you to have a reason to believe you needed to be tested other than, I ain't got anything better to do today. So,
well, I think some of it, too, is I feel like I've been exposed.
Right.
I want to know before I go see my grandmother or whatever. I get that.
Right.
But there's a limited number of tests. So they're definitely being careful with how many.
Yeah, I mean, even though the tests are more available now, they're still not one for everybody. So they do need to, save it for the people who are most in need. But now, if you feel like you've been exposed, and you want, I don't see, go talk to them because they'll tell you whether you need to be tested or not. I'm not a doctor. But
Right.
so I think, but I think that having these having these drive-in clinics, testing sites, has really helped to find them. And like David was saying, we're talking about find them early so that they can be tested early, and we don't let it linger too long.
I do like that. I do like that because when you see the pictures of the X-rays of chests, chest X-rays of COVID, it's like a big cloud. You can't see anything. So it definitely, if you can get it before it gets to that point, then like you said, like David McCormick said, you're not going to end up on a ventilator. We're able to kind of cut back and treat so that it doesn't get to the point where it lasts for weeks and you're on a ventilator, and ventilators take up, like he's saying they're getting a lot of the nursing home traffic.
Right.
Those folks most likely would need a ventilator because of age and ability to get over the disease. So, we do want to consider it where we can get our testing to be smart, but we need to be smart about when we ask for a test.
Yeah, exactly. And, but if you say be smart when you ask for a test, that's correct. But catching it early, like any other disease, is paramount to making sure it doesn't become a serious disease. I don't care if it's cancer, if it's the flu, if it's a cold. Catch it early, treat it early, and then you can get over it much, much easier. So, and I'm one of the world's worst about, like, you know what? If my hand is not severed from my wrist, I'm not going to go to the doctor, If I don't have a bullet wound or a big, huge gash, why go to the doctor? However...
Yeah, a lot of people do that. Should I go? Should I go? I don't want to.
I'm getting to the age now, even though I'm not really in a high risk category, I'm still getting to the age where maybe I ought to start frequenting the doctor a little more and just watching things more closely. And doing that, I found some things that were nothing serious. Matter of fact, the only thing that I've found about myself, I don't have a problem saying this, I have high blood pressure because I'm overweight, but my blood pressure is under control. It's coming down. It's fine. And the more weight I lose, the more it comes down. Everything else is fine. Well, that's good. However, without going to the doctor, I would have never known this. So, those of us who
I have high
that,
cholesterol, even though I'm 105 pounds.
Yeah,
so
little video, you have high cholesterol. That's amazing.
It doesn't matter. It's hereditary, for one thing. So, and I'm an identical twin, and I know because she told me, yes, we could eat differently because I live in the South and she lives in Washington State, and I do like my fried food. But if hers is high, mine is high.
Right.
And I do think that women have a benefit too because we have a lady doctor we see every year, and we should. That is a physical. That's sort of a got to do it every year. Got to do it every year.
Yeah.
And I think there's a benefit to that men don't
right, exactly. So men can go a couple of years. Yeah, exactly. So yeah. Well, I tell you what, let's shift gears a little bit and let's talk with Bullet. Let's let Bullet talk. Bullet Sports Bulletin, he had another great interview with some more baseball. Let's see what he's got.
Okay.
Hello again, everyone. This is Bullet Hand, and welcome to Bullet's Sports Bulletin. Today we're joined by Auburn outfielder, designated hitter, Braden Brown. Braden, how you been doing, man?
Man, I'm pretty good. I'm ready to get back on the field for sure.
I tell you what, it's got to be killing you baseball guys to go without a season. It's killing us baseball fans to not have any baseball to watch. The Bullets Sports Bulletin is brought to you by Gus Collins State Farm and Ryan Select Turf. We really appreciate those folks sponsoring this segment. And Braden, man, you had a good first year at Auburn. It got cut short. I think the Tigers were, 13-5 when the season ended, but you got off to a good start. How was it, Justin, to college baseball?
Man, it took me a little bit for sure. When I came in the fall, it probably took me 2 months to adjust to the speed and, just this, like how the game was played. In high school, it was just grip it and rip it, just play the game and enjoy it. And there's a lot more to it. I figured out fast when I got up there.
Yeah, and it's a big step. It wasn't like you were going to just any program. I mean, you were going to a place that had been to the College World Series the year before. I mean, Auburn was pretty much had a pretty stacked team, and then you were able to wedge your way into the starting lineup in I think 7 or 14 games, but you look like you got off to a good start. You hit a home run and had some long balls.
Yes, sir. I did come in. I came in at the right time, and I swung it well when I got my opportunity. But, I was blessed to get in the lineup.
Well, I tell you what, that's good about being in the SEC, too. A lot of the games I guess every game was streamed live. So I know a lot of folks back in Selma were watching you. So what have they told you, with this coronavirus stuff going around? I know the season was ended. What have they told you for next year? Anything about when to report back or anything like that?
Man, they really haven't told us a whole lot. I think we're just going to come back when the school year starts, and then it's going to be, full blast from then. There's nothing special, like any summer workouts, nothing like that I know of at least. They haven't told us much.
Right. And your summer baseball, is it kind of up in limbo? Have you found a team yet or a league or anybody that's going to play between maybe now and mid-August?
Oh, yes, sir. I was originally going to New York to play in the Perfect Game League for the summer ball. That, got canceled because of this pandemic going on. And then a guy on my team's dad started a league over in Montgomery, so I'm going to play in that, try to get a couple of swings before I go back in August.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, I think everybody's flying by the seat of their pants, including in the major leagues. We're going to try to start by July 1st. So, anyway, folks, Braden, sorry, that's his cousin. Braden's numbers at Auburn, he hit 267 with a home run and 4 RBIs in 14 games and played left field, pinch hit a little bit and played some DH. But at Morgan Academy, Braden had just outstanding numbers his senior year, leading the team to a 30-2 start, a 30-2 finish. He hit 438 with 11 home runs and 47 RBIs. And nobody talks about your pitching. You pitched, you were 5-0 with a 2.93 ERA and 38 strikeouts in 28 innings. But what, Brady, do you remember most about playing at Morgan Academy for 4 years?
My teammates, man. That was the best part about it. Growing up with all them kids through up high school, and then just seeing us get better and better every year until my senior year where we finally made it to state. That was awesome. That was probably my favorite part about it.
Yeah, it was really a thrill, I think, for everybody to see the games down at Riverwalk. As far as the season didn't end like anybody wanted it to, being 30-0 and then losing the last two, but still had lots of things that you'll be able to remember and take forward. You have any of those that jump to the top of your mind?
Just the journey of my senior year. That was awesome. We really had fun. We didn't try to let the streak or whatever get to our head. We just tried to play ball and enjoy it. Now, it didn't end the way we wanted it to, but I had a blast throughout it.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest highlights was going down to the Gulf Shores and winning that tournament. It had 45 teams or maybe even more than that. And the team had to play maybe 6 games in 4 days, and I ended up beating some 5 and 6A schools from out of state. That must have been a thrill down there.
That was a lot of fun, and that's a memory I'll never forget.
Well, we were joined by Braden Brown, an outfielder for the Auburn Tigers baseball team, and who played his high school ball at Morgan Academy. He'll go back next year. And what you told me, Braden, is I guess what is going to happen to probably everybody is you get your year back. So you got 18 free games, and you still get your freshman year back. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. So I'll be a freshman again next year on sports-wise, sophomore school-wise.
Okay. Yeah. So you don't want to forget that. Yeah. You don't have to do an academic year again, but you get to do the baseball thing again. But you were also telling me that it's your best guess that maybe a lot of the seniors are going to go ahead and graduate and they either go into the draft or get jobs. So there won't be a big backlog, or will there be a backlog?
As far as I know right now, the seniors that have graduated are going to go on. But, then again, they could come back. They have that option. They got their year back. That's up to them. It's what they want to do.
Right. I did see where I think Auburn had 3 of them get on some All-American teams. So a very good baseball team there over there at Auburn. And you didn't get to play any SEC games, did you? Because it was just about to start a conference league, and then kind of just this coronavirus killed us all.
Yeah, it was the Thursday before the Friday we were playing Texas A&M, and we got called into the coach's office, and they told us that we were going home. And Man, that was a tough pill to swallow there. I was ready to get started.
I bet you were. We're all ready to watch some college baseball, especially some SEC baseball. Well, Braden, we appreciate you joining us today, and we wish you the best of luck for what will be another freshman year at Auburn, and then we'll just go from there. But good luck when you go back to Auburn. And I know I didn't even have to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Keep swinging for the fences.
Yes, sir, I will.
Well, thank you. We've been joined by Braden Brown today on the Bullet Sports Bulletin, which is brought to you by Gus Colvin State Farm and Ryan Select Turf. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. We want to thank everybody at Sky Communications for making this venue available for us. And we will see you next time. For everybody associated with the Bullet Sports Bulletin, it's a Bullet Hand saying, so long.
There you go, Bullet Sports Bulletin. Wow, I tell you what, this area has produced some really good sports figures, and that's really exciting. That's amazing.
It is, and it says great things about our sports programs because, as you know, Selma High has had some really great folks come out of there. Michael Johnson, who played football until just this last year, I think it was his first year not to play. I think he was Southside High School. I mean, we're very blessed to have a lot of athletic programs that let our locals shine.
Yeah. Michael's actually Dallas County.
Dallas County. Okay.
Yeah. But you're right. There's been so many good sporting events. Speaking of sports and outdoors, I got the honor of meeting and kind of getting to know the commissioner of our Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, Chris Blankenship, who, he is second to the governor when it comes to everything from he's the boss over wildlife, freshwater fisheries, the Alabama State Parks, the Forever Wild. He is, but when you talk to him, you're talking to a normal, everyday guy who likes to go hunting and fishing and camping, likes to take his kids out into the woods. He's just like us. And having someone like that in that position has done wonders for the outdoor recreation in our area. I got to talk to him. I did a telephone interview with him about a new boat landing that's going in at Roland Cooper State Park, and I'd really love to hear what he has to say. So this is a fairly short interview. Let's see about the new boat landing going at Roland Cooper State Park.
The opening night of alligator season a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I was there with Big Daddy, and he was showing me where they have big bass tournaments over there.
Right.
And that all the boats have to nose up on the grass because they don't have a pier.
Right.
And that there's not really anything for boats that are transiting through, no place for them to tie up or use the park. And so I appreciate him showing me the need over there. And so we set to work trying to find the money or a grant or something to be able to build a first-class transient dock and a dock that can be used for multiple purposes there. Thankfully, ADEM has a program that they administer for boating infrastructure, and so we applied for a grant with them, and appreciate ADEM approving that grant, and so now we're going to be building us a new dock there.
Wow, that is fantastic. How much was the grant for?
$250,000. There's some match requirement, so it'll be close to $300,000 project before it's all said and done.
Wow. Has the design been confirmed yet? Do we know what it's going to look like?
It's going to be a T-shaped pier. It's going to come out. I think it's 120 feet long.
Oh wow! Okay, so it's going to be long.
So you come out from the land, and then it makes a T. I think it goes 60 feet in one direction and 60 feet in the other direction.
Wow! And that's going to be right down there on the point where they've been just coming up to the shore.
Yeah, where that pavilion is.
Right.
And then just down there behind that pavilion, kind of down the bank right there.
And I guess there'll be an access road built and whatnot so they can get down to the pier.
Yeah, there'll be a road built, and it's also going to help the park because the grant is a lot of those boats that come down the Alabama River, on that great circle loop and different things that are going on. They don't have a place to tie up, and this will really give those big boats a place to tie, and then that'll make them where they'll want to come in there to Roland Cooper State Park and see what all they have there.
Yeah.
And, really provide a new opportunity for the park and for people.
That's true. And, in the Black Belt area, tourism is huge, and there could be so much more when we have these type developments. It attracts more people, and that's more economic bounty for this area.
That's right. And like I said, I appreciate the time I spent talking to Big Daddy down there waiting for people to come weigh in an alligator. He taught me a lot about the black belt and about that part of the state and what they need and what would be helpful there. I think it shows that the Department of Conservation is trying to be responsive, and when we see a need and ability to help a community, that we set about trying to do something about it. And I'm really looking forward to having that built and coming down there and seeing it in use.
I can't wait to see it myself. That's going to be a good addition to the area, and boy, we thank you for that. I tell you, I thank you too for what the Department of Conservation has been doing, because having been involved with Chuck and the wildlife freshwater fisheries, it's amazing the things that the Department of Conservation are doing that people just don't realize. There's a lot of good things going on, and people need to know about and take advantage of these opportunities in these places.
That's one of my biggest pushes since I've been the Commissioner of Conservation, is just trying to provide more opportunities for people, whether it's adding public hunting land like we have in Dallas County, right. and down in Monroe County. We're looking to build a first-class boat ramp in the town of Demopolis over the next couple of years. Trying to work that out. We really want to give people access to all of the great outdoor recreation we have in our state. And I'm very pleased with working with Wildlife Freshwater Fisheries and the Forever Wild program to have bought some land there in the Black Belt that we can open up for public hunting. And it's been great. Been great to see people come to.
And that's basically what he said. And so it's so important, and people don't. Actually, the dock is going to be 2 T-shaped floating piers with gangplank, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be a really nice setup, so people who are using the river can come in and tie up. Bass tournaments, any kind of fishing tournament can use it. It's going to be a really nice setup. What we need to do now is see how we can that's going to help the Selma, Dallas County area, because so many of us go down there and use that facility already anyway.
And there's not a lot of places to stay down in Wilcox County. So, this is an opportunity for the Selma area and Dallas County to grab on to the tourism that comes with. And I've used Roland Cooper for our pontoon boat as well, and it's already a great facility. But when you bring in more than just people in the tent, in this case it would be, I love the alligators, the alligator weigh-in, and all the different things. These folks, let's keep them here in our area to eat, to sleep, to shop, and we need to take advantage of the fact that this will attract other fishing tournaments that are going to be like, oh wow, that next year we should have so many more, because the facilities will be even better.
I tell you what we really need to work on too is our own Selma Marina. We need to develop that even further, right there where the sandbar is.
Absolutely.
That area would be perfect.
I was over there the other day, and it needs to be widened. There's the mouth part needs to be like, yes, there's a lot that could be done there that I think a little investment in it would really bring more tourism, and that's a very popular, and I live on the river, so I watch people. I'm not far from the city marina, couple miles, 4 miles or something like that.
Wow.
And so I see people at dusk, which is my favorite time of the day because our sunsets are just glorious here.
Yeah.
Watching people kind of hauling it over for their turn at the marina. And I do think that some attention to that would be an economic boost as well. Yes. It would be a payback. Yes.
Well, why don't you give us an idea of what we can expect in our next edition of the Selma Sun, and let us know.
We did use our favorite reporter, one of our favorite reporters, Todd Prater. So we do address the boat dock, the new one at Roland Cooper, and what that means for us here. We also have a feature on the 10th anniversary of the Elkdale Baptist pastor. And that's kind of a fun story, looking at, how long he's been here and what he has seen change in the 10 years that he's been pastor at Elkdale. we still have the tax delinquency list. This is the last week to find out if your property is listed as delinquent. And we have that available online at selmasun.com as well. Next week, we have a graduation edition that will be coming out, honoring the graduating high school seniors from all the schools in Dallas County. So we are compiling all of the pictures and the names and valedictorian, salutatorian. We have had already some graduations, which was Morgan Academy and Meadowview, but most of the public schools have not held theirs yet until mid-June. So our goal was to have it done so that we can hand it out at the graduations and give a little surprise to and honor for this year that has been so bizarre for our 2020 grads.
That's going to be nice. Yeah.
Yes. So, and there's an opportunity if you go to selmasun.com for parents to buy an ad that congratulates their kids for and where they're headed. It can say Auburn University or Alabama, wherever they're headed next. And also for businesses to support and send a message of congratulations to our seniors and hope they come back to work for them someday, maybe.
There you go.
So, yeah, looking forward to the June 4th edition that's going to have our graduation edition in it.
Fantastic. Well, Cindy, thank you again, and it's been a great show. See you next week.
It has. Thank you, Todd. See you then.